Hello YouTube, how's it going? It's a professional here, and today I got another top list video for you guys, and in today's video we are going to be focusing on the top 5 most obsolete vehicles in GTA Online. And by obsolete, I mean vehicles that are pretty much useless at this point. The vehicles that I'm going to list off in this video, this is my opinion, but the vehicles that I'm going to list off in this video, they are pretty much useless at this point. There's not really any point in buying them. I'm going to list some pros and cons, and I'm going to look at these vehicles objectively, and I'm going to try to find something good about them, but these vehicles just aren't worth buying, and they might have been good at one point. At one point, they might have been good. At one point, they might have been popular, but what's happened is they have been replaced by much better, superior vehicles, and in each of these vehicles, I'm going to list off the vehicles that they were replaced by, and it's not a matter of competition. The vehicles, their rival vehicles, are just so much better, where it's not even competition at all. They've just pretty much been replaced, and these vehicles, I almost never see them in free mode. I have not seen these vehicles in so long in free mode, so here we go. Top 5 most obsolete vehicles. I hope you guys enjoy. So starting off at number 5 is the Rocket Voltic, and the Rocket Voltic came in with the Import-Export update in December 2016, and it goes for a regular price of $3,830,000, but you can get it for a trade price of $2,880,000 if you complete the SecuroServe mission involving it. And what made the Rocket Voltic unique was the fact that it had this jet engine on the back which you could boost, and it was good at one point. A lot of people liked this vehicle. However, with the introduction of both the Vigilante and the Oppressor, both of which also have boost engines, the Rocket Voltic is so inferior in comparison to them, and the main reason is that both the Vigilante and the Oppressor, their boost cooldowns is around 3 seconds, while the Rocket Voltic, its boost cooldown is around 9 seconds, which means the Oppressor and the Vigilante, they can boost at least 2 times in the time limit that it would take the Rocket Voltic to boost once. And so these two vehicles, the Oppressor and the Vigilante, they will be able to destroy, absolutely destroy the Rocket Voltic in any kind of speed test, any kind of race around the map, anywhere. And I mean, just take a look at this right here. While I'm using the Vigilante, look at how easily it boosts. The cooldown is only 3 seconds every time, and I can just keep boosting and boosting. But in comparison to the Rocket Voltic, I have to wait a whole 9 seconds in order to boost. Both the Oppressor and the Vigilante can smoke me easily in this race. And on top of that, the Rocket Voltic has no defenses. Both the Vigilante and the Oppressor, when they're being locked onto, they will beep. But this thing, it won't beep at all. So not only is the Rocket Voltic inferior to the Vigilante and the Oppressor in speed, but it's also inferior in combat. The Oppressor and the Vigilante will both destroy this thing any day. It has no chance against them in a race or even a fight. And the only good thing about the Rocket Voltic, I would say, is that it has better agility than the Vigilante, and that you can do a VIP work with it, velocity. But I don't even count that as a good reason to waste $2,880,000. Get the Vigilante or the Oppressor if you're going to get one. Don't get the Rocket Voltic. Number 4 is the Dodo seaplane, and the Dodo seaplane was free for returning players who came from the PS3 and Xbox 360 and upgraded to the PS4 and Xbox One versions. And the Dodo seaplane is an amphibious airplane that can carry 4 people. However, the Seabreeze, which was added with Smuggler's Run, is just so much superior to this thing. The Dodo seaplane, the one advantage it has over the Seabreeze is that it can carry 4 people. Unfortunately, though, the other 2 people would be hanging onto the side, and if you tried to make tight turns, they would fall off easily. The Dodo seaplane is just so inferior to the Seabreeze in terms of everything: landing, speed, and even weapons. As you can see from the test earlier, the Seabreeze is able to take off so much quicker than the Dodo, both on land and water. So the Dodo, it has no chance of catching up to the Seabreeze or even outrunning it. And in this case right here, you guys are seeing my friend here. He's in the Dodo, and he is very far up ahead, and I managed to easily catch up to him with the Seabreeze. And the Seabreeze, if you get it for the trade price, it's only $850,000. You would have to do 36 hangar resupplies, so make sure you guys do those hangar resupplies, because you can get money from the hangar, and you also get a nice discount on this thing. So for $350,000 more, you get a much better amphibious plane, and this plane, much faster, much more agile, and it can carry bombs, and it has machine guns. Plus, the Dodo, it's unable to dive down in the water just like the Seabreeze. While you might be able to do it on your first or second try, after you hit the water, it's going to start smoking, and then the engine is eventually going to die. Plus, the Dodo also has less armor. It's only able to take 2 homing missiles, but the Seabreeze, it's able to take 3 homing missiles. So check out the Seabreeze, guys. If you're looking for an amphibious aircraft, don't even waste $500,000 on a Dodo. It's just not worth it. The only time you're going to see the Dodo is when you're probably doing an MC cell mission. So the Seabreeze, much better than the Dodo in pretty much everything: speed, agility, and even combat. Number 3 is the Blazer Aqua, and this thing is so overpriced. This is an ATV that has a machine gun on the front, and it's amphibious. It can go on the water and almost operate like a jet ski, but this thing is so overpriced. It costs regular price $1,755,000, and you can get it for a trade price of $1,320,000. Even the trade price is extremely overpriced. This thing has no real purpose. I mean, think about this. When are you going to need an ATV that can go on land and can go in the water? There's so many other vehicles that can cross the water. In this case, we're racing against an APC, a Deluxo, and an Oppressor. All of them can cross water. The APC is amphibious, the Deluxo can hover, and the Oppressor can glide over water. And even these other vehicles, like the Deluxo, they are just so much faster than the Blazer Aqua. And even its speed isn't great, because as you guys see right here, I had a huge head start on the Deluxo, but the Deluxo managed to easily pass me. So for wasting $1,320,000 on this thing, you don't really get much. And the machine gun on this thing, it's difficult to aim, and when you're on this thing, you're an easy target, and you're bound to get shot off. And the VIP work for this, stockpiling, it's too complicated. It's not worth it. Don't buy this thing. Moving on, number 2 is the Rhino tank, which cost $1,500,000 in GTA Online, and this has been in the game since day 1. And the Rhino tank, it was good at one point, but then it was replaced by the Kanjali, which is just a more superior tank. And taking a look at this test right here, the Kanjali, it takes 8 shots from my Rhino to blow it up. That's what when the Kanjali is fully upgraded. The Kanjali is a very armored tank, much more armor, twice the armor of the Rhino. So 8 shots to destroy a Kanjali. However, if you compare this with the Kanjali fighting the Rhino only takes 4 shots. So basically, if the Kanjali is upgraded, it has double the armor of the Rhino. And take a look at this, guys. This was from my Kanjali review back in December, and this clip is sped up. But as you can see, the Kanjali is faster. So the Kanjali you're going to be spending $2,895,000 on versus the Rhino, which costs $1,500,000. So you're going to be spending almost double the money. However, the amount of money that you invest in the Kanjali is going to be worth it, because the Kanjali, it can carry 4 people in it. It has a remote-controlled machine gun where the gunner doesn't even stick out. And this machine gun, very powerful, has a lot of range. The Kanjali is also able to drop proximity mines. It has 2 grenade launchers on the sides, and on top of that, the Kanjali has a big railgun which can actually charge up and actually can fire at farther distances, and the shots actually go faster. So the Kanjali is much more worth it. So if you're going to be saving up money for a tank, get the Kanjali. The normal price is $3,850,000, but you can get the trade price $2,895,000 just for completing Act 3, the Doomsday Heist. So you get an easy trade price on it. So make sure you guys take advantage of it and get it for the Kanjali. And again, you're going to be spending double the money, but it's better to spend double the money on the Kanjali and have so much more features, better armor, better weapons, better speed, than wasting it on the Rhino. Because the Rhino, it's just a waste. It's better to invest all your money altogether and get a better tank overall. Before we unveil the number 1 most obsolete vehicle in the game, we have a special mention here, the Valkyrie attack helicopter, and this has been in the game since the heist update in March 2015, and the Valkyrie has a regular price of $3,790,000, but you can get it for a trade price of $2,850,000 by completing the Humane Labs heist. And the Valkyrie, the reason that it's a special mention on here and it's not on the list specifically is because it's a great helicopter. It has great uses. Unfortunately, though, it's kind of expensive and its armor isn't really good. This thing gets blown up in 1 shot. I just wish it had more uses, because the Savage had a buff. With Smuggler's Run, the Savage used to take 1 missile, but then with Smuggler's Run, it now can take 2 missiles. Unfortunately, this helicopter never got buffed. When this helicopter first came out, it had 2 unique weapons. The first one was an explosive cannon controlled by the front co-pilot with a camera that they could use to zoom in and hit what target they were aiming at, and it had a high rate of fire. No other vehicle at the time had that kind of a gun. Later on, the Hunter came in, and the Hunter now has the exact same kind of gun, and the gun on the Hunter, it's actually better because the Hunter is armored. The Valkyrie isn't armored and gets blown up in 1 shot. The other weapon on the Valkyrie that's unique are the 2 miniguns, and these miniguns, they're extremely underrated because they have good range. They can hit a target from a good distance, and they can blow it up easy. They're not good at taking out specific individuals, but they're good at blowing up vehicles at a distance. So this helicopter needs a buff. Just the fact that it only takes 1 missile is just so disappointing. And number one, the most obsolete vehicle in this game is the Armored Boxville. The Armored Boxville came with the Import-Export update in December 2016, and it comes with a original price of $2,926,000, but you can get it for a trade-in price of $2,200,000 if you complete the Secure or Serve mission with the Armored Boxville. And this, I should call the Armored Junk. That's exactly what it is, because the title in this vehicle is misleading. It's called the Armored Boxville, but this thing isn't armored for anything. It takes just a few shots from a machine gun from an insurgent pickup custom, and it's already destroyed. I mean, take a look at this test right here. Me and my friend were shooting at each other at the same time, testing out which vehicle had more armor, and the Armored Boxville gets blown up so easily. I didn't even scratch the insurgent pickup custom, and even if it goes up against the turreted limo, the turreted limo still manages to win. In terms of damage resistance, this thing only takes one missile, which is extremely disappointing. The turreted limo is much better because at least that one takes 2 missiles. The only thing this thing has better on the turreted limo is that the Armored Boxville is a little bit faster, but the Armored Boxville is such a disappointment. Not even the front of the Boxville will actually protect you from bullets. So not even the front window is bulletproof. And to top it off, it's pretty slow. In comparison to the Barrage, the Insurgent Pickup Custom, and the turreted limo, like I said earlier, turreted limo is the only vehicle that's faster than the Insurgent Pickup Custom, and the Barrage blow this thing away. So it's extremely disappointing. It has no armor, doesn't have great speed, and it's extremely overpriced as well. It even loses in a race against the Technical Custom, and yes, that's right, the Technical Custom is even better than this thing. So if the Technical Custom is better than this thing, then you know what you're dealing with at this point. And the Technical Custom, it's much faster than the Armored Boxville, and Technical Custom can also be upgraded to have a ramp on the front of it, similar to the Boxville, because the Boxville has its own ramp, which you can use to smash cars out of the way, one of the good things about it. But other than that, it doesn't really have any uses. The only other good thing that I can possibly think about this thing is Fortified. It's a VIP work that you can do every 30 minutes with it, and basically if you sit inside a tunnel, you can get around 35 grand. It's the easiest way to do this mission, because then nobody can really harm you. So just protect the van for 10 minutes, and you get around 35 grand. And you know, this thing I'm just so disappointed with, because this vehicle could have had potential. I was excited because the fact 2 people could shoot out the back, like a van, and had a gun on top. But it's just not armored at all. It's not fast. You're not able to customize it. You know, I could think of a bunch of uses. Like, why doesn't like the MC, like our MC businesses, why can't we like upgrade it to be able to like use this thing, for instance, to like deliver instead of post-op vans? You know, and why is the Armored Boxville in the Fortified mission more armored, but the standard one isn't? You know, it doesn't really make much sense. Even the regular Boxvilles in the MC mission are more armored than this thing. So that was pretty much my list, guys. I hope that you enjoyed. Let me know if there's any other obsolete vehicles I missed. Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.